This episode is brought to you by Anchor.fm. If you haven't heard of Anchor, you should definitely check them out. It's a super easy tool that anyone can use to create and distribute their podcast. It has everything you need, and you can do it all from your computer or even your phone. Need your podcast cover art? There's a tool. Music and sound effects? They have you covered. Want to record on the fly? It's easy with the app. Now you may be saying to yourself, I already have a podcast. No worries, just create your account, upload, and publish to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Looking for some walking around money? Anchor connects you with advertisers who match your brand. It's a one-stop shop for all of your podcasting needs. Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor.fm to get started.
You're listening to BizQuik. This is where Julie and Corey provide quick and useful information to small business owners. BizQuik is the podcast where small business owners get to showcase their businesses and receive expert advice and guidance in areas many entrepreneurs struggle with. And you, the listener, get solutions, tips, and tricks on real-world topics that many small business owners face. Julie and Corey are the experts small businesses hire when they need solutions. And the BizQuik podcast is just one way they deliver those solutions. Let's start the show.
Welcome to BizQuik. I'm Corey.
And I'm Julie.
And on today's show, we've got a special treat for you. Everyone out there, we are going to do a podcast with our intern who we just hired not too long ago. Her name is Frances Jendruczyk. I'm pretty sure I got that right. She is going to be a senior this year at Malloy College in New York, and we brought her on to help with marketing. So we're going to talk a little bit about that before we bring her on for the podcast. So, hey, Julie.
Hey there. Yeah, we're going to do 3 episodes with Frances over the course of the next 3 months. We'll do this first podcast with her today where she's going to talk to us about, expectations, things that she's really excited about, things she's nervous about. This is her first paid internship. She did a unpaid internship last year during the year, and now this is her paid one. And so we'll talk about, expectations, things she's nervous about. She's very quiet, so this will be interesting to see how we get her to talk, right?
Yeah.
And then midpoint check-in, I'm thinking she might be a little bit more vocal, and then by the end, hopefully, she can tell stories of how amazing we are to work for and how much fun she had and how much she learned.
Yes, and do you want to tell everybody exactly why we brought her on, aside from the fact that, it's nice to have help and to help people out because it was a part of the network, but, what exactly it is that she's going to be working on?
Oh, yeah, her goals and deliverables. Yeah. So we have that all mapped out. And really what Frances is going to be helping us with is essentially brand awareness and brand penetration, growing that. So she's some of her goals are to increase the number of people that listen to this podcast. It is to grow our followers on social media, and it is to get more people engaged in taking the assessment for Timebomb. And then she has a goal of growing our subscriber list for emails.
Yeah, and that'll be interesting and to see how she approaches the whole thing, because despite what everybody might think about out there about the SB-paced juggernaut that we are, we do need help, and that the brand awareness, the marketing side of things, the growth in listenership and all of that is something that we definitely need help on, and we're hoping that she's going to bring a new perspective to everything. And one of the things that really was interesting to us is she's got some sort of food blog, and you're going to have to talk about this. Instagram. It's not even a blog. Yeah. But all she does is take, I feel like I'm talking it down now, but she reviews food, takes pictures of food, and at any point you want to take this over because I'm going to butcher it, Julie.
Sure, let me yeah. Let me cover for you. She actually doesn't even review food. She takes photos of food and just tells what the food is. But she's got 1,500 followers, which is 3 times as many as we have, maybe 5 times as many. So we're well, if you can get people to follow your food, you could probably get people to follow our small business tips. So the first thing that we tasked her with is doing some market research on, what competing, competitors or people that are in the same vertical as us, and what they post on social, both on Instagram and YouTube, and how frequently and what sort of hashtags they're using and how they're titling things and keywords so that we can start to model that, or at least leverage some of the stuff that she learns to improve our social media approach. So it should be interesting. I think what's going to be the most interesting is we'll probably identify fairly quickly how much handholding she needs versus how much she is good with. Here's the goal. We don't care how you get there. Just get there.
And I think for everybody listening to this podcast, you'll be able to see exactly how well all of this branding and marketing work is doing as hopefully the quality of our advertisers improves. The number of famous people we get on the podcast improves, because we're right now we're running our own ads, and AJ McLean is the only.
Well, we do have a very big guest coming up for our 100th episode, but we're not going to tell you who it is. There's a teaser.
We do, but unfortunately, AJ is the most famous person that we've had on this podcast.
That is unfortunate.
I know.
I like to think Shea Butler is the most famous person we've ever had on our podcast.
We can make him the most famous. We can say he is. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But one of the things I think that is going to be important to talk about as well is what she's going to learn from us.
Right.
Because that's, the whole point of an internship is we get some... it's not... We are paying her, and we're paying her well. But, the whole point of the internship is she's supposed to learn from us.
We're actually paying her more than she asked for.
Yeah.
We took that approach.
And because of that, I'm requiring her to fill out status reports every week. So she knows exactly what corporate's like.
Exactly. We want her to get that feel real quick. But the other thing, too, is I don't know if we can. Is it too premature to talk about how? Well, here, I'll say it like this. And if you want to shade in more details, you certainly can. One of the things that she's getting to do is she's getting to experience from conception to launch the launch of a new business. And she is going to actually help write the marketing strategy for the new business. And so she's really excited about that piece because she's never seen what goes into launching a business before.
I have no idea how you know she's excited.
She told me she was.
Oh, okay, because she's less excitable than I am.
That is a fact. But here's the deal. She actually... because I told her, like, when we had the meeting on Monday evening, she asked me if she should plan on attending. And I was like, totally up to you. Here's the benefits, but you don't have to if you don't want to. And we're not going to hold it against you. And she's like, oh, no, I definitely want to be there. I want to see all this. So, yes.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, she's excited about it.
Well, I'm excited to have her on the team and to have an extra hand in terms of doing stuff. Because, again, she's young and has a different perspective on how the world works and all of that. So it would be nice to get her out there to help us do the things that we, haven't been doing well or don't have the time to do or that we've always wanted to do and, all of that. So
agreed.
Yeah. We are going to take a quick break and then we're going to bring Frances on and talk about being an intern. We wanted to take a quick break to tell you about our newest course called Timebomb. If you're ready to take control of your calendar, this course is for you. We guide you through all the steps you need to understand where you're spending your time, what your time is worth, and how to build out your days and weeks so that you can add more value to your business or just spend that time enjoying life. We have 3 options for you. The course, a bundle which includes products designed to help you become more efficient with your time, and a boot camp where you'll get time in a small group setting to get the personalized help you need. Head on over to sbpace.com to learn more. Timebomb. Take control of your calendar, gain control of your life. All right, and welcome back to the show. We've got Frances on, and I'm going to let her say her last name because I butchered it in the first half of the show here. So welcome to the show, Frances.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's Frances Jendruczyk.
You were very close, Corey. Yeah. You were very close.
Very close.
Yeah, so we're so glad to have you, Frances. We're just going to refer to you as Frances the intern, if that's okay.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah. You want to tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and about what attracted you to marketing, since that's what your college major is in.
Yeah, so I'm entering my last year of school for marketing, and I have a minor in finance and economics. But actually, when I first started college, I wasn't even in marketing. I went for pharmacy, but I realized that it just wasn't for me. I felt that business was more of a risk and I just wasn't prepared for that. But I realized that it was worth the risk at that point. So I just kind of jumped into it. And I really like marketing because I feel like I'm really good at designing and know what's visually appealing to the audience. And that's super important in marketing. I feel like I have a good eye for aesthetics as well.
Awesome. Look, we've already learned something today. I didn't know that visually appealing things were important in marketing. So that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to know that you've got a minor in finance and economics.
I know.
So,
I was like, Corey got really excited right now. He's like, "Ooh, somebody who can maybe help me with finance."
yeah,
stuff.
we're gonna change the terms of your internship here.
Minor, Corey, minor in finance. She's here for marketing.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that's great. So tell us a little bit about, I guess, yourself when it comes to like the marketing. So we talked about your Instagram account already. Kind of what you're doing there and how you grew to so many followers.
Yeah, so I started a food Instagram account in about November of last year, and I always already loved eating out at restaurants and taking pictures. So, and I always played with the idea of maybe starting an account, but I was kind of also nervous to start that. But finally, I was like, why not? Like, might as well take a shot at it. So I started the account, and I'm really proud because it's growing a lot. I'm already at 1,300 and around 5 followers. I do have like content lined up for it, and I feel like it aligns with marketing as well. Like it shows that I could be good at this. So I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a very visually appealing Instagram page, right? You definitely have an eye for capturing like the details in photos, especially at least with food you do. So that's really good. And I've checked it out and gotten hungry looking at it because there's a lot of really good looking pictures on there.
And one of the things that I also just realized is that I'm going to be excited to see the quality of the work that you do for us, because I guarantee if we went and looked at her Instagram page right now, there would be exactly 1,305 followers on there. She's like, and about 5. Yeah, no, that's, I guarantee you.
100%.
Yeah.
She's very detail oriented.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you're nervous about doing an internship with us?
I wouldn't say I'm necessarily nervous. I feel like I'm more excited about it just because I'll get that opportunity to have that real life business experience, because in school it's all just learning from the textbook, and they do talk about like real life situations, but you're not actually in those shoes or in that position. But once you're out in the real world, like you'll actually know certain terms from the textbook and like apply them to reality. And even like I like how in this company I'll be able to be involved in those business meetings, where even just the one that I attended, just learning about branding, like I learned so much more in that one meeting where we spent a whole chapter on it, and it's just so much more better with the real life experience.
Yeah, that's great. And I know, so you're referring to a meeting that we had with friend of SB Pace and friend of the show, Matt Reese, who came on and was helping us with a branding effort, and he kind of walked us through start to finish. And it's very free flowing, but there's a lot of really interesting things that happen while you're going through a branding exercise. So we're really glad that you were able to join that call with us, and I think we have another one lined up for to continue that conversation and talk about it. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and that's always a fun thing to witness yourself, the practice versus the reality versus what you learn in school. And that was one of the things that I always struggled with when I was in doing my major, because I was in hospitality and I was working in restaurants, and they're like, well, this is what it's like, and I'm like, I'm already in the real world. That's not what it's like. So yeah, I'm glad that you're getting a chance to see that, and that you'll be able to see that, because there's a lot that you can bring from school, and then there's going to be a lot that maybe, I don't know, I'm talking trash about your school right now, but there's going to be stuff where you're like, I learned this and I will never use it.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Math.
Yeah.
You'll never use it. Math.
Yeah.
Remember finance and economics.
Just kidding. I will say one of the things that we're the most excited about is having a fresh set of eyes on things, right? Because when you are looking at the same thing for so long, you start to miss things, or you just kind of take things for granted. So that's one of the things that I think we're both really excited about, is hearing your perspective on things and different techniques or ideas that we haven't tried yet. And maybe either because we didn't even know to try them, or because we thought, well, that wouldn't work for us, and having someone else who has, you come from a totally different approach to things. So it's going to be really interesting to see how our marketing sort of evolves over the next 90 days.
Right.
You control it. You're going to control it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
So, Francis, outside of the goals and deliverables and everything that we kind of talked about, what are some of the things that you're hoping to get out of this? Like what by the end of the summer? Because I'd love to halfway through when we have you on again and at the end of the summer to see, what we've actually accomplished and what's
KPIs.
changed.
He's developing the KPIs right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the dashboard right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like as I mentioned, like just getting that real life experience. I really want to help the company grow with the followers, because as I showed on my food page, like I'm really confident that I can do that. Also, I'm going to learn more about the marketing research by like learning more about your brand and just checking on YouTube or Instagram, Twitter, all the platforms, and getting that experience.
Yeah, that's I love that. I love that you're excited to help us grow our followers, because
Oh yeah.
it's like this nagging, plaguing thing that we know that obviously there are thousands and thousands of people who grow their following all the time, but for some reason it's one of the areas that Corey and I really struggle, and it just usually, I think it's the way that we're probably prioritizing it right now, where there's a lot of other things that come before it. So being able to learn some hacks and kind of some new techniques, I think will be really beneficial for us. So not only are you going to learn from us, but we're going to learn from you.
Yeah. And I already have I looked through the page and I already have a few notes that I'm excited to share with you guys and just give my point of view on that in the future.
Well, that's what I was kind of getting at. Share some secrets.
Yeah, share. What do you got? What's some of the feedback? You want to give us some feedback?
Yeah. So just just for the YouTube channel, I was just thinking for each video, the title was Project 365, but I was thinking maybe to do a unique, different cover photo for each one that is more based towards that specific video, just to engage more audiences, so they can see what it's actually about. I feel like more audience would come to that.
Okay, so example, I think yesterday's question was, what is an LOI, right? For the YouTube video that we released yesterday, and for our listeners that don't know, and I don't know how you don't know unless you're new, we have a project called Project 365, where every day for 365 days we are answering a question and posting that video on YouTube. The videos are 3 minutes or less, but they're small business focused, and the month of May has been about mergers and acquisitions, and June is marketing. So what you're saying is, for example, the video, the question that was, what is an LOI? Maybe putting just a cover photo that actually asks the question, what is an LOI? And
right,
and
yeah.
Okay, all right, okay, I like that. I like that feedback. All right, what else you got?
Well, I noticed for that same the YouTube, you include the dates in each one, but on YouTube it already shows the dates. So I feel like by making the title shorter, the viewers are able to see more of the title, because I feel like it cuts off kind of, and people might not know, because what is LOI is a short title name, but some of your video titles are fairly longer. So if the audience can't see it, they might not want to click on that video because they don't see the full name of it if it's on your YouTube page.
You know what just got added to your task list, right? That's good feedback. Honestly, I look at those YouTube videos every day, to make sure that, because I don't trust YouTube, so I'm going to make sure that they actually published on schedule, and it never even occurred to me that we're doubling down on the date. So that's great. See, fresh eyes. That's really good.
The information itself is extremely valuable, so I feel like people could be missing out just because they don't see the title because it gets cut off or something simple like that. I feel like it can definitely get more engagement in that aspect. So
should we change? So right now the cover photo we have on all of them is a Project 365 image. Should we change that thumbnail to what the question is?
Yeah, or something, just either the question or something simple related to the topic of the video.
Okay. All right. I'm down for it. I'll try it. I'm down for it.
All right. Well, we don't want to steal all of your secrets quite yet.
Yeah, no, don't. Yeah, that's good enough. That's good. You've already proved your worth, so that's very good.
Thank you.
Well, so what else are you looking forward to this summer? Let's get a little more personal in the sense of you're not going to be just doing marketing for us. We know that you like to go outside, work out, all that kind of stuff. You got any cool trips planned, anything like that?
Not this summer. This summer I'm ready to work. Last summer from the pandemic, I didn't really do much. So this summer I'm really ready to just gain all that experience and finally, make some money.
Nice. And so you're entering into your senior year at Malloy. You'll finish in the spring or early summer of next year, 2022. What are your do you have an idea of the type of company you want to work for after you graduate?
Yeah, so at first I don't have an exact company I want to work for, but something marketing related. I love to work in some type of marketing department since that is my major. And eventually I do want to own my own marketing company, hopefully. But first, I feel like it's important for me to just gain that experience, learn in the real world what to do. I feel like it still would be a risk to start my own company, but I feel like it would be slightly less risk if I just know exactly how to operate within a real marketing company.
Sure. Are you thinking that you'll want to be like with a bigger, like a more corporate firm, or with a smaller company where it's more hands-on and you get lots of experience, or where they've got like really big maybe clients that they're working with, or big projects that they're working on that require pretty significant initiatives? Or is either one of those more appealing than the other to you?
Honestly, I'd love to get some experience in both of them, but I feel like working for a small business might be more beneficial for me because I might have more of that power control. Like I can learn more, whereas in a corporate office, I might have less control over what I'm actually doing.
Also, corporate sucks.
Yeah. And I mean, in all honesty, as a entry level job, you're probably not going to have much control over what you're doing.
Right.
In general, I mean, there's pros and cons. Corporate does suck for many reasons, but there's also the benefits of working for a large company, like primarily the benefits.
Yeah.
That's always helpful.
And status reports.
Yeah, which we're subjecting you to. But the idea is that, I mean, you could go work for a large marketing firm and then leave there in theory and kind of choose your own job after a couple of years. And that's what a lot of people do when in those types of roles, is they'll go work for, they put in their time with a large company and then go from there. But yeah, I mean, it's always nice working for the small guys as well.
It is. And I will, pro tip for you, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is to really focus on building up your network, right? So, you'll have us in your network, for forevermore, right? So knowing people who can help you either, find new clients, or, hey, I know somebody who's looking to hire, an entry-level marketing person or whatever. The network to me becomes one of the most important things that you build. It probably contributes more to entrepreneurs' financial success than anything else in the world, right? I would say it's more important than skills, is the strength of your network, right? Yeah. I mean, that's how you are interning for us, because of our network, right? So your boyfriend is in Arate with me, and he put a post up that you were looking for a paid internship, and I was like, yes, we're looking to pay an intern. This is beautiful. This works. So that's so just continue to grow that network. You'll never ever regret doing that. What else are you looking forward to this summer besides working? Anything?
I'm all set on working. Hopefully I'll travel a little, but I don't have anything planned exactly. Just minor things, but yeah.
And when does school start back up? I don't even know that we know that. I don't know that we asked.
It starts up in September. Okay. Beginning of September, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even bother to ask. I just guessed when I sent you the term of the internship.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, because hopefully there's a chance, like if you're really enjoying it and things are going well, that you still may be able to do some work for us even after you go back to school, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm sure also I feel like here the hours are more flexible. As long as I get the work done, I'm sure like on the weekends I can get it done.
Yeah. Yeah. We're very much deliverables based and not really, like unless something is extremely critical for a timeline, most things we're pretty flexible on. So I think it'll be an interesting experience for all of us. And one of the things that I was initially nervous about, I'm not now already. I've been relieved of that. Is that we brought you on to help with. Help me alleviate some of the things on my plate with respect to marketing. Sounds like Corey's going to try and steal you for some finance stuff, but I'm gonna push back on that. But I was concerned, what if I have to spend more time explaining things than it would have taken me to do it myself? But, after, a couple of conversations, between Corey and I, where we're like, well, the reality is like this is a great opportunity to give back, right? So that you can get these skills and experience. So even on certain things, if we have to take more time to explain them to you than it would take us to do them ourselves, that's okay, because going forward you won't need us to explain them to you again. But also you demonstrated already, like we gave you very little direction on the market research other than these are kind of the things we're looking for, and it sounds like you just like absolutely dug in. So we're super excited to see what you've come up with for that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very excited to show you, hopefully, how much your account will grow this summer.
Cannot wait. Yes, definitely.
Cannot wait. We gave you some big goals too. So on everything, like we really, and now what will be interesting is, do you think that market research will help with growing the podcast audience, sort of doing the same thing that you're doing for Instagram and YouTube? You'll have a similar approach for that, or do you think that's going to look slightly different in terms of how you can help us grow the audience there for the podcast?
It would be different. I haven't focused before on doing podcast research, so it would be something new for me as well, but I'd have to look more into it. But definitely research is important for that too, because it would be marketed differently than the YouTube or Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, great, and we hope that all of our listeners out there help Frances hit some of these goals by sharing this with their friends and increasing our listenership there.
And if you're not following us on social media and you're listening to our podcast, go follow us.
Yes. But before we go, Frances, can you tell everybody, I guess, where they can... Let's drive some people over to your Instagram account.
So my Instagram is nyfoodfeeling.
Okay. We're going to drop that in the show notes for you.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to say before we wrap up?
No, just thank you guys for having me this summer. I'm excited to help your company grow.
We are excited to have you. So thank you for joining us today, Frances, and thank you to our listeners. You can find Frances's Instagram account in our show notes.
And as Julie kind of already mentioned, you can connect with us on our social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and we've got the YouTube channel that's going to have some improvements coming its direction. And everything that you need to find out about us will be on sbpace.com.
Yep. And while you're out there on the internet or listening to our podcast, go ahead and subscribe. And you know what? Like us and give us a review, because we are big fans of feedback.
And if you have any topics or if you want to be a guest, again, you can get all of that information on sbpace.com on how to reach us or fill out the form to be on the podcast. And while you're on our site, click through to purchase our book, Seriously Now What? A Small Business Guide to Disaster Preparedness. It's a #1 bestseller on Amazon. It's got a digital workbook download. And if you've already purchased it, please go out to Amazon and like it and give it a review.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Corey.
I took a little nap there. I forgot it was my turn to go. This was BizQuik, and we're helping small businesses, and college students across America.